natin sa buong mundo na ang Pilipino may kakayanan na magpahusay ng kabuhayan Pilipino.
That we call on all patriotic Filipinos to discard ideological differences, party affiliations, disparity of religious beliefs and regional origins, to close our ranks, stand behind one flag, commit our honor, dedicate our lives to fight as best we can in defense of our country.
Ang ating katipunan. Ang ating katipunan. Ang palatuntunang maghahatid sa inyo ng mahahalagang impormasyon tungkol sa mga kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Ang ating katipunan.
Magbibigay liwanag sa mga katanungang nagdudulot ng pagkalito sa mga mamamayan hango sa aral ng pandaigdigang kasaysayan.
Ang ating katipunan.
Makikinig sa inyong mga daing at kuro-kuro sa pagsusuri ng mga kasalukuyang suliranin ng ating bayan at ng buong mundo.
Ang ating katipunan.
Maglalatag ng kalutasan ng mga sanhi ng paghihirap ng kalagayan at kabuhayan ng sambayanan.
Ang ating katipunan.
Ihahatid sa inyo ni Itos Valdes ng Philippine LaRouche Society, Save the Nation Movement, Solidarity for Sovereignty Movement, Renaissance Philippines at Partido Politikal ng Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino kasama si Cathy Cruz.
Ang oras sa hudyat, 2 minuto makalipas ang ikapito ng gabi, Philippine Standard Time, May 28, 2023. Okay, kayo po ay nakikinig sa himpilan pa rin ng RMN DZXL 558 kHz sa inyong AM band at syempre napapanood niyo po kami sa social media accounts ng Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino o Katipunan Channel. Ang himpilang ito ay kasapi ng KBP, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. Magandang gabi mga katipon sa Pilipinas at sa buong mundo. Ito po ang inyong katipon, Cathy Cruz, kasama pa rin ang tunay na bida ng palatuntunang ito, walang iba kundi si Itos Valdes. Magandang gabi, Itos.
Lahat tayo bida, Cathy. So, pati yung mga tagapakinig natin, good evening. Lahat kayo bida po, pati yung mga guests natin dito. So, good evening. We have a very interesting show for tonight. Discuss natin yung ang kinabukasan ng ating bansa, the future, and discuss how we can get there. So good evening po sa lahat at sa lahat ng mga guests at ng mga tao dyan sa RMN, DZXL. Good evening po.
Thank you, Itos. At katulad ng binanggit na ko, isa na namang siksik-liglig na talakayan ang magaganap ngayon sa 2 oras natin sa palatuntunang ito. Pero ano man po ang inyong ginagawa, saan man po kayong mundo naroroon, samahan niyo po kami sa loob ng 2 oras na pagpapaliwanag ni Itos Valdes sa mga kaganapan sa loob at labas ng ating bansa. At para sa ating mga kababayan po na nakikinig sa pamagitan po ng radyo, kayo po ay mag-text sa ating Katipunan text line 0916-363-7626. Hawak po yan ng ating technical staff. At syempre na si Ver Archivido. At magpadala po kayo ng sulat troniko sa ating Katipunan email. Pwede po kayo magpadala ng sulat troniko sa Katipunan Channel at gmail.com. Maaari din po kayo mag-iwan ng comments sa ating social media accounts ng Partido KDP FB page at YouTube. May mga kasama din tayo sa Zoom ngayon at nandiyan of course si Johnny Bentosa, At inaabangan din natin ang grupo. Yan, si Chamberlain Nagma nandiyan na rin sa linya. Nasa Zoom po siya, makakasama natin. Inaasahan din po natin yung ating pong lead convener ng Save the Nation Movement. Walang iba kundi si Engineer Lemmy Rojas. No? Abangan po natin yan at makakasama rin natin siya sa Zoom. No? At syempre sa lahat po ng ating mga nanonood ngayon, yan, mag-iwan po kayo ng comment at kung meron po kayong mga nais itanong kay Itos, ay nako, sigurado po masasagot yung inyong mga katanungan. But for tonight, ang ating pong tatalakayin ay tungkol sa, dahil napakataas ng kuryente natin, grabe, yung ating pong Bataan Nuclear Power Plant, no? Isa po sa masasabi nating solusyon, no, sa tumitindi po at kakulangan ng ating source of energy, 'di ba? Ngayon, maganda siguro una natin itanong kay Itos. Sa ibang bansa kasi nakikita natin mabilis ang kanilang pag-unlad, no? Particularly yung mga karatig na bansa natin sa Asia. At nakakapagtaka lang, may ito bang halaga ng kuryente o problema natin sa source of energy ay isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit ang ekonomiya ng bansa o ang ating bayan ay mabagal ang pag-unlad, Itos?
Yes, principal yan. Siyempre kasama yung tubig dyan, tsaka infrastructure like transport. But definitely, energy is the main driver of economic growth, no? Kung masyadong mahal ang cost ng energy, hindi makakapagtayo ng mga factory, hindi makapagpapatayo ng mga planta, at kung ganon, hindi ka makaka-manufacture ng goods. You will not be able to produce agriculture on a nationwide scale and reach efficiencies quickly kasi wala kang enerhiya. And you will not, because you will not be able to hindi ka dilig ng mga plants and ano nyo. So mahihirapan umunlad ang bansa, mahihirapan gumalaw ang isang bansa with that. So ang energy is the base of everything. Kung gusto natin magpa-industrialize, kung gusto natin mag-produce ng agrikultura na 4 or 5 times what we're producing now quickly, we need what they call base load energy. Yung base load energy po yung pinaka what we will build on na energy, and that base load energy has to be 24/7, non-stop, reliable, consistent, and dependable, di ba? So and if we look at lahat, pag tinignan natin po lahat ng bansa na umunlad na mabilis at ngayon umuunlad pa lalo dahil sa mga kinakailangan ng mga taong bayan nila. If you look at yung G7 countries, if you look at the superpowers, lahat po yan, malaking portion ng kanilang energy is nuclear power. Because right now, it's the most efficient, the most cost-effective, the safest, and the most reliable. So, walang question doon. And nuclear power is, na-invento to 1940s? 1950s? 1940s. Sabihin na natin 1940s. Meron ng nuclear power eh. May nuclear bomb na nga eh. Di ba? Noong 1940s eh. Pero there is nuclear power for civilian purposes. It was formalized by the Atoms for Peace program of Dwight Eisenhower na sabi niya, wag tayo patayo ng mga nuclear bomb facilities. Tayo ng nuclear energy. Gamitin natin ang lakas ng atom para sa peaceful purposes, hindi panggera. Yan ang sabi nila. And so Atoms for Peace was born. And right now, there are 440 nuclear power plants all over the world at present. So Ayan, pinapakita. Let me read it. No? Quote, Atoms for Peace, quote, no? To the making of these fateful decisions, the United States pledges before you, and therefore before the world, its determination to help solve the fearful atomic dilemma, to devote its entire heart and mind to find the way by which the miraculous inventiveness of man shall not be dedicated to his death, but consecrated to his life. Ang gandang words po yan. In other words, yung baril na inaano natin, pwede natin gawin to power our agriculture. Instead of powering weapons of mass destruction, we will use that same technology and use that same innovation to power our agriculture, our energy, to meet the growing energy needs of the world. And like I was saying, no, 414 nuclear power plants present in over 30 countries, and I'm sure there's a lot more being built and being ready to go online. So kasi kailangan na to, hindi na choice to. Ang nakakalungkot po sa Pilipinas is we had a chance, di ba? Marcos was able to get into an arrangement with Westinghouse to build the first nuclear power plant, which we never ran. Pero binabayaran pa rin natin, hindi natin napatakbo. Parang bumili ka ng kotse on installment, di mo sinakyan. Dahil baka may mabangga ka o baka may bumangga sa'yo, dyan lang sa garahe. Iniwan mo dyan. Binayaran mo na, tapos na yung ilang years na installment mo. Hindi mo na nabayaran, bulok na yung kotse. Pero itong nuclear power plant nga, hindi pa bulok eh. The nuclear reactor is still intact and still can be rehabilitated. Yung kailangan lang i-upgrade is from analog to digital, the instrumentation, which yung Korean power has offered at a good price. Russia has offered to help also. Ito mga bansa, sobrang ng eksperto sa nuclear power na they're selling their expertise. Tayo dapat nauna dyan eh. Di ba? Si Fidel Correa na kausap natin dati pa, yung kaibigan natin, nuclear engineer #1 yung ID niya. Never siya nakapagtrabaho dahil sa politika. So without any real problems, alam mo, yung ginawa ni Cory po was one of the biggest, if not by shutting down the nuclear power plant. That's one of the biggest crimes against the Filipino people by a sitting president, because it denied the future any chance at developing. It kept them in the dark ages. May teknolohiya ka nga to bring us to the industrial age. And she, working together with the oligarchy, the banking oligarchy and the energy oligarchy, which was Shell and Caltex, they refused. In fact, yung head ng Shell Philippines, shortly after na mothball hindi na pinatakbo, sinarado na yung nuclear power plant natin. Ginawa siyang knight ni Queen Elizabeth. Knight in the Queen's service. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Yung head ng Shell Philippines, ha? Because why will they make him a knight? You're only given that knighthood. Pinapataw lang sa'yo ng Queen, ng Reyna, pag may ginawa ka para sa ikabubuti ng royal family, hindi sa ikabubuti ng taong bayan. Ba't ka binigyan ng ganyan parangal ng Queen? Ibig sabihin, you are working for the Queen the whole time and not for the Filipino people. And pag nag-research po kayo, yung Shell Pilipinas, Shell is Royal Dutch Shell. It's owned by the elite, the oligarchy, which includes a royal family of Britain. So yun ang history nun. Pero ibig sabihin, kasama sila sa pag-oorganisa ng oposisyon ng nuclear power plant. Yan ang lumabas dyan. There was one time nag-test na pumunta tayo ng Kongreso to push for the opening of the nuclear plant. Tapos nandun lahat ng tao, nandun lahat ng oposisyon doon sa Kongreso. At yung mga points na pinapaandar nila is the same points as 1986 onwards. Yung mga problema ng mga kasi 2,000 daw, 2,000 defects. Sinama pa si defects, yung parang masira yung doorknob, sira yung isang window dito sa opisina. Yan ang defects. Pero walang defects sa nuclear reactor. Yun po ang katotohanan. And until now, that kasama na yung mga kaliwa, mga the leftist organizations, kasama na yung mga clergy, yung mga madre, yung mga pare dun sa Bataan, kasama na yung gobyerno diyan. 'Di ba? They all oppose the nuclear power plant. Ang opposition nila, tinatakot nila yung kababayan, yung mga mamamayan. Tinatakot nila. Yun lang sinasabi nila. Pag sumabog to, lahat tayo patay. Pero hindi nila ini-explain. Hindi nila pinapaliwanag kung ano yung mga teknolohiya na nagpre-prevent na ganon mangyari. Hindi po sasabog ang nuclear power plant dahil sa radiation. Hindi po sasabog yan. When they say it will melt down, it's because masyadong mainit. Okay? Masyadong mainit because you need heat to produce electricity. Okay? Masyadong mainit, hindi nagko-cool down. Hindi na lumalamig. Kaya sa sobrang init, it will cause a meltdown. Yan ang sinasabi nila. But no nuclear power plant has ever exploded because of nuclear bomb or parang ganon. Hindi ganon ang mangyayari. Huwag kayo maniwala sa mga pinapanood sa TV at huwag kayo maniwala sa mga haka-haka na mga so-called eksperto na wala namang alam sa nuclear power. Okay, magbasa kayo. Nandiyan yung internet, nandiyan yung nandito yung programa natin. There's so much information about nuclear power na. And if it's so dangerous, but sobrang daming bansa ang nag-a-apply para magpatayo ng nuclear power.
Okay.
Napakatalino naman natin. Tayo na yung pinakamatalinong bansa sa buong mundo kasi ayaw natin. Ang galing talaga ng Pilipino, di ba? Oh. So tayo lang yung pinakamatalinong race sa buong mundo. Dahil ayaw natin. Meron tayong nuclear power plant. Pinasara natin. Napakagaling natin. But going back to the politics, there was no reason not to run the nuclear power plant. What it did, though, was when it was stopped, sinabay nila yung privatization, deregulation, and globalization ng economy natin. At pinasok na nila, inumpisahan na nila yung Oil Deregulation Act. During Cory's time to Tapos yung EPIRA na isinabatas during Gloria's time and Ramos' time. So we didn't have enough energy. We didn't have enough energy source, energy production. Ang ginawa ni Ramos, naalala niyo po, sabi niya may energy crisis. Pinasara yung nuclear power plant. Tapos sabi niya may energy crisis. Pinasok niya dito yung mga energy traders tulad ng tulad ng Enron, tulad ng Myrant, all of these energy traders. 'Di ba? Sila kumita sila kasi ginaranti ng gobyerno ang kita nila. Garantisado. Pasok kayo dito, garantisado, kikita kayo, hindi kayo talo. Kasi ang gobyerno ang magbabayad sa'yo. Kahit sobra ang ang gawa niyong energy, kahit sobra ang kilowatts na ginawa nyo, bibilhin pa rin ng gobyerno. Kaya naging bangkarote yung MPC, National Power Corporation. Yun. Siyempre, iba yung story yung pinapalabas nila. So when it was bankrupt because of the energy crisis, sabi nila, hindi na kaya ng NPC. Kailangan yung EPIRA na. Ipasok na natin yung Energy Deregulation. Ano yung sinabi nila? Pag pinasok natin yung Energy Deregulation Act, EPIRA, bababa ang presyo ng kuryente.
Which is hindi naman nangyari.
Which never, ever, ever happened.
Okay.
Hindi ba? Ang galing kasi ng mga senador natin tsaka yung mga kongresista natin, mahal na mahal nila yung bayan talaga 'Di ba? So sila nagsulat niyan, sila naglagay diyan. At kasama 'yan sa buong nangyari pagkatapos ni Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Pinalago na nila yan. They took out all our safeguards. They took out all they changed the whole policy and made laws to ensure that new policy, yung mga polisiyan yan na hindi para sa benepisyo ng Pilipino, ginawa pa nilang batas. So ang hirap nang tanggalin. All through those years, 86, late 80s to today. No other president has invoked the Constitution. No other president after Marcos has invoked the Constitution to benefit the Filipino people. Ginagawa nila, bine-benefit nila yung kanilang mga kasama sa oligarchy. Kaya sobrang laki yung kapangyarihan ng oligarkiya ngayon dito sa Pilipinas at sa mundo. Dahil lahat ng bansa, pareho yung nangyari sa kanila, sa atin. Yung experience natin, yung naranasan natin dito, ginawa rin sa ibang mga bansa. By the same oligarchy, by the same kind of thinking. Wag na, tayo, free trade na tayo, wag na tayo mag-protectionism. Na tayo, deregulation, privatization na. O ano na pala nila? Di ang taas ng singil nila sa kuryente, ang taas ng pagkain, ang taas ng... You need cheap and reliable electricity to power your nation forward. You cannot build a train system, national train system, without cheap electricity. Hindi tatakbo yan. Yung LRT natin nga, hindi pinapabilis, kaya yung mga train nila, hindi nila kaya on time all the time. They have to run it slow because if you run it faster, higher speed, you'll need more energy and it's expensive. Siyempre, di ba? Tataasan mo yung speed, more power ang kailangan. Di ba? So they're running it at the same rate para kumikita pa rin sila, pero kawawa yung taong bayan only because our electricity is very expensive.
Okay.
Di naman gas yung MRT, di ba? Oh. Hindi ba? So, paano yung mga negosyo? Paano yung mga planta? Paano yung gano'n? Kung negosyante ako, sabihin ko, masyadong mahal yung cost ng steel plants. Masyadong mahal magpatayo ng pabrika ng manufacturing, steel bars. Kasi masyado mataas yung electricity yung needs ng electricity. Masyado mataas yung tubig ko. Saan ako kukuha ng tubig? Privatized na. Lahat privatized. So sobrang taas. Paano ako kikita yan? Huwag na ako pumunta dyan. Punta na lang ako. Dito na lang ako. Sugal na lang ako sa stock market natin. Hindi ba? That's what's been happening. Maraming manufacturing companies closed down since 86. Marami kasi cheaper yung import. It has to do with the policy. ang policy natin na may kasalanan. Talagang binaliktad nila yung policy that Ferdinand Marcos had. Remember po, Marcos had the plan. Senior, hindi to si junior. Marcos had the plan for 11 major industrial projects. Bakit meron siyang ganyan? Bakit kaya niya mag-isip ng ganyan? Kasi inisip niya, pag tumakbo na tong nuclear power plant, BNPP-1, that's 640 kilowatts to the grid. Okay? There is a provision sa Bataan, sa complex na yon, may isa pa na 600. So they would have added 1,300 at that time megawatts to the grid of reliable, cheap, reliable, and consistent 24/7 base load. Now, if you were a businessman or factories, doon ka magre-relocate sa Bataan. Mas mura yung electricity. Tsaka wala kang problema sa ilaw. Kahit 24/7 mo takbo ng aircon mo dyan, tsaka ilaw mo dyan sa pabrika mo. Hindi ka matatalo. Hindi ba ho? Tapos you can run desalination. When you run desalination po ang pag-alis ng ang desalination, ibig sabihin pag-alis ng salt sa tubig. Pag-alis nun. So nagiging potable siya. And it can be used to power our agriculture the whole year round. So we can produce more. Without that, naghihintay tayo ng ulan. Hindi ba ho? So that is the whole point of an energy plan. Kung ako ang isang leader ng bansa, dapat may plano ko how to get us self-sufficient in energy. And then you have a plan also. Kasabay nun, how you will now plan your major projects in agriculture, in transportation. You'll electrify the whole nation so that you can run a whole train system around the country. Tapos since archipelago tayo, you strengthen our ports so that our water taxis, the RoRo system, aanuhin mo yan. That's part of your plan. Kahit 6 years ka lang dyan sa office, kahit 6 years lang po ako, pwede mo nang umpisahin yan. Major, hindi lang yung isang bridge or dalawang bridge or major, lahat. Tapos, kailangan mo tanggalin ng mga obstacles para doon. First thing we will do, kung ako yung presidente, first thing I will do is invoke Article 12. Yun ang unang-una, day 1, Article 12. Tapos kausapin natin lahat ng oligarkiya natin, kausapin natin sa lahat, lalo na sa energy, sa water, sa food, yung mga monopoly dyan. Ito ang gagawin natin, mga pare, sasabihin natin. Medyo nakalamang na kayo, kumita na kayo ng malaki, ito na gagawin natin. Tama na, para sa taong bayan muna tayo. Pero ito yung gusto kong i-develop, pwede kayong pumasok dito. Pero yung basic goods and services, electricity, food, water, even health, we will have to get back. We will have to give it back to government. Yan ang gagawin natin. And titignan mo po, biglang ang mararamdaman ng bayan natin, biglaan, mararamdaman nila yung palit, yung change. Because now, we will now be able to plan factories and revive our agriculture and manufacturing. Because we have the energy base load now. We control the vital industries. When you control the vital industries, you can now plan. And you can give jobs. Hindi na tayo mag-OFW, dito na sila lahat. Kasi kailangan natin sila. Magtatayo tayo ng bagong kinabukasan para sa bansa. Di ba? And this is the way to do it. Hindi po yung Maharlika Fund, Maharlika Fund. Walang mangyayari dyan. Kikita lang dyan yung mga nagmamanage ng fund. Kikita lang dyan yung mga finance manager tsaka yung mga nag-aabiso kung saan ilalagay ng pera ng bayan. But it's not towards development. It's not towards the future. You're not building a future with that. You're not improving the general welfare with that. Yun po, nasa konstitusyon natin. Basahin niyo yung preamble. The general welfare clause is the most important thing. Yun po ang para sa taong bayan. That's the very existence of why government is there. Kaya ganyan yung gobyerno dahil dyan. Di ba? So yun po. Yun lang po, Kat. That's what I wanted to say. If you have questions on it and if other people, if Lemmy is online, maybe we can ask him to say a few words. Diba?
Tama-tama si Engineer Lemmy, kasama din natin dito. Teka, di lang makakonect sa audio. Pero nakikita doon niya si Itos. Pero siguro bigyan natin ng pagkakataon. Gusto ko lang din batiin si Chamberlain F. Nagma. Siya ay isang mechanical engineer at dati rin po siyang nagtrabaho sa Napocor. Retirado po ito, Itos. Baka gusto niyo pong mag-share ng inyong karanasan dyan sa Napocor at kaalaman niyo dahil kasama siya kahapon sa isang panawagan sa pamahalaan na buksan ang Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. Itos. Chamberlain, magandang gabi. Paki-unmute na lang po. Yan. Okay na. Nasaan na? Ayan. Okay, habang inaayos ni Chamberlain yung kanyang audio, at si Engineer Lemmy, no? Engineer, nasan ka na? Nawala ka sa Zoom. Pero sabi niya nakakonect daw siya sa audio. So hindi ko alam kung paano, baka magandang pumasok pa uli Engineer Lemmy sa Zoom, no? Si Chamberlain nasa na hindi siya paki-unmute nyo lang po, nawala po yung video rin po ninyo. Si Johnny Ventosa nandito rin pala ngayon, si Giancarlo EY nandito rin. And habang tayo ay naghihintay lang nung kay Chamberlain dahil magandang magbahagi siya, no? Pakita wala ang iyong audio, engineer. No? Engineer Lemmy, paano ka ba makakapasok sa ating Zoom? Mas maganda makapasok ka. Sir, na mag-unmute ka. Ayan, okay na. Chamberlain, Engineer, Nagma, magandang gabi. Okay na po yung audio nyo. Hello? Engineer, go ahead. Pwede na po kayo magsalita. Wala po kayong audio. Hindi po namin kayo naririnig. Sige, habang inaayos lang natin yan, bigay muna natin 7:34 po ng gabi, Philippine Standard Time. At kayo po ay nakikinig sa himpilan pa rin ng Arman DizXL 558 kHz sa inyong AM band. At sabayan niyo po kami napapanood sa pamamagitan ng social media accounts ng Katipunan Channel o Partido KDP sa ating FB page at YouTube account. Nako, nawala. I just also want to... Okay na ba kayo? Ayan. Nawala na. Okay na. Magsalita na po kayo, Engineer Nagma. Magandang gabi. Pwede nyo ilapit yung naka-cellphone po ba kayo? Baka pwede nyo pong ilapit yung cellphone ninyo sa inyo. May problema yung May problema po yung inyong audio. Ako, hindi po maayos. Sige, balikan ko po kayo. At Johnny Ventosa, baka may katanungan po kayo kay Sir Itos. Yan, naka-unmute na po kayo. Go ahead, Sir Johnny, magandang gabi. Sir Johnny.
I'm
Yan.
on mute. Ayan.
Okay, okay na
Good
po.
evening now.
Yes, loud and clear.
Good evening, everybody. Big question. I really don't have much of a question. It may sound very silly, but ethos. If ever this plant should rise, is there a possibility that they will run, that it will become a privatized project?
Yeah, it'll only work. It will only work in terms of running the nuclear plant if we take out EPIRA. Because if you put up a nuclear plant and it still remains privatized, ganun rin po mangyayari. The whole concept is for government to take back control over basic services. So we have to renationalize oil. We have to renationalize the electricity sector, and then we have to build our network of nuclear plants all over the country. And you will see in less than a generation, maybe 10 years, 15 years, the change, in the quality of life sa lahat ng mga Pilipino. Because now the electricity is cheap, reliable, and now you can plan 15 years ahead. And transportation, lahat. And then even yung ating langis or oil, we will be less dependent on. Diba? So we don't need too much foreign dealings with that. We will be close to self-sufficient. Alam mo sa US now, you know, they consider nuclear power as clean energy. Clean energy, so they categorize it as that. Clean energy kasi sinasabi nila for the environment, quote unquote. This is well, I don't agree with classification na ganyan kasi yun yung tinutulak ng mga environmentalists na hindi naman talagang science yan. They're a propaganda group. But if you're going to put nuclear power under clean energy, 70% of clean energy is in the US is powered by nuclear. And right now, the nuclear energy is the most reliable energy source in the US and the world. Right now, hindi pa yun yung, pero yung sasabi natin nuclear energy, nuclear power is what? 1950s, 1940s, meron na yan Hindi ba ho? So, if that's a 70-year-old technology. And yung nuclear rods and nuclear fuel, you don't have to change it for 70 years, 75 years. Meron pa nga ngayon more. Yung Mars rover, that is powered by nuclear energy combined with solar. It's a small yung lahat ng ships nila, yung US fleet, submarine aircraft carriers, nuclear energy yan. Alangan naman gas yan o diesel. E di every how many days refuel sila. They can stay underwater yung submarines for long time. Umaakyat lang sila sa surface dahil sa tao. Maluloko na yung tao nila in a confined space like that for long periods of time. But technically a nuclear submarine can stay there forever. Now, naisip ko lang, malay ba natin may drone submarine na? If there is a drone submarine, that thing can stay there for 50 years. Underwater for 50 years, hindi natin makikita in our whole life, pero nandyan siya with nuclear missiles. Powered by nuclear energy. Eh yung NASA nga, how will you power your spacecraft? Gas? How will you power your rockets in space? Gas? Forever? Saka magre-reload? Wala namang gasoline station sa sa space. You need nuclear power. That's what they use to run.
Mhm.
That's what it is. Yan ang hindi nila sinasabi. Bakit? Pag binigay nila yung teknolohiya sa lahat ng bansa, edi lahat ng bansa magiging empowered to industrialize. So kailangan sa kanila lang yun. Yung mga sikretong ganon, na hindi naman talaga sikreto, pero yung mga ganyan, they keep it for themselves. Kasi pag binigay mo sa lahat ng tao, lahat ng bansa, they will become industrials very quick. Look at China. In one generation, they're able to feed their population. They're able to electrify their whole nation. And China has what? How many nuclear power plants and counting? Diba? It doesn't, hindi po kailangan maging isang henyo ka para makita na ang benepisyo ng nuclear. Eh tayo hindi makaumpisa, 1984 dapat pinaandar na yan. Ang takot na takot sila at that time, paandarin yung nuclear power plant. Kaya tinigil nila. Kasi pag pinaandar yan, at lalo nang makita ng taong benepisyo, mahirap ng lokohin ng tao. Kasi nakita na niya na okay siya eh. So until now, niloloko pa nila yung mga tao. At hanggang ngayon, nagpapaloko yung mga tao. Galit sila sa nuclear. Habang yung mga kapitbahay natin na bansa, 100% going forward with nuclear. Tama yung Alemanya yan, Germany, sa nangyayari ngayon sa Ukraine. Si Russia supplies what? 90% of the natural gas of Europe and more in Germany. Tapos aawain nila dahil sa NATO. So sasabihin nila, hindi ka na pwede mag-export sa Germany. Eh, mas kailangan ng Germany yung Russia. Tapos, ngayon, may crisis sila sa Germany ngayon. Kasi yung energy prices nila, sobrang tumataas. Why? Kasi nag-green movement sila, pinastanggal nila lahat ng nuclear plants. So ngayon, wala na silang makuha sa Russia, wala na silang nuclear power plant. Saan sila makuha ng energy? This is a first world nation, so to speak. Ha? This is what's happening po. Tapos napaka-proud pa natin, mga Pinoy, na pinasara natin yung nuclear power plant. Talino talaga tayo, no? Yan ang nangyari. And our resource, our engineers, our people that can work in those industries and build our power industry to be self-sufficient, wala na. Isinantabi na lang kasi hindi na kayo kailangan. Ba't pa tayo nagdi-DOST kung ganon? Department of Science and Technology, ano yung iniimbento natin? What's our innovation? What is our leap forward? What is our one small step for man, one giant leap? Bakit wala tayong ganon? Why can't we dream of a space program? You know why? Because we don't have the base load energy. We cannot dream of big industrial projects because we don't have a cheap, reliable, and efficient source of energy. Sinira natin, binaril natin ang sariling paa. Now, what can we do now? Reverse it. Ibalik natin yung policy na ganyan. Ibalik natin sa dati. Tanggalin yung ginawang EPIRA and oil deregulation. Makikita nyo po. Why can't we buy oil from Russia? Cheaper. Hindi ba ho? Start the nuclear power program again. Put more megawatts on the grid. Immediately. Does it cost, what did they say, $1 billion? Pa-rehab yung $1 or $2 billion pa-rehab yung i-rehabilitate natin yung BNPP? Or $2 billion to Maharlika Fund? Mamili tayo. Hindi ba ho? Doon na lang natin lagay sa sugal. Huwag na natin i-rehab yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant para wala na tayong, hindi na kailangan yung 640 megawatts. Di ba? Anong mas mura? It pays for itself in terms of economic benefit. It will pay for itself perpetually. Now it becomes free because of the agriculture benefit, because of the economic business, the factories, the manufacturing that you're able to revive. Lalabas yan, sobrang mura ang investment. Because we still have a reactor. Still works. And kasabay niyan, you build new ones. All over the country, small reactors, modular reactors, all over the country. Why? Because you want to build a train system all over the country. So you need the energy. So kailangan natin ng reliable electricity. Pero hindi natin pwede gawin yan kung may EPIRA. Hindi pwedeng privatized. Kailangan gobyerno magpapatakbo. Diba? So when they do it, so you're looking at 20 years after. Nagpaplano ka po 20 years. Nagpaplano ka para sa kinabukasan talaga. So you will say, okay, ito yung naisip ko para sa Pilipinas. Network in Mindanao, rail network, high-speed rail, goods and services. How much jobs will we need to create the rail system? Who are the best train builders? Cooperate tayo with China, with Germany, with Japan. This line, China gagawa. Pero yung rail system, yung high-speed rail, number 1 po sa mundo ang China. Number 1. They have the most, in terms of the length, they are twice, I think twice or thrice, the total number of high-speed rail of the world. Combined, sila pa nauna. Eksperto na sila dyan. They know how to do it. Get into that para maumpisahan na sa Mindanao. Pagkatapos yan, ililink mo ngayon. Tatayo ka ng bridge, pero tatayo mo, lalagyan mo ng rail, high-speed rail. So the bridge. Ililink mo yan, Visayas and Mindanao, the major islands. And then you link Luzon all the way up to La Union. Diba? Revive natin yung rail na yon. Puro run by nuclear plant. Run by nuclear power. And you will see the benefit right away. Magde-develop po lahat ng regions. Regions that nakalimutan na ng Pilipinas. Bubuhayin ulit natin yan. At mawawala, once mag-develop yung mga region na yon, mawawala yung mga warlord, mawawala yung mga politikong pulpol, mawawala yung mga politikong narco-politics, sa drugs, sa smuggling, sa weteng, sa isabong, mawawala lahat yan. Kasi yung taong bayan mismo, those constituents in those provinces, tatapang sila. Because now they're empowered, because now their city is progressing. We will have a new generation of leaders that will run our towns and cities, and our national leadership will improve. And we will teach our children to dream big. We will teach the future to want to go to space, to want to aspire for great things. Hindi tulad ngayon, gusto nila maging artista. Gusto nila maging TikTok. Yan ang generation ngayon. Kasi wala silang inkling of what to do. Kasi yung parents nila wala rin. Di ba? We should teach our children to dream big in terms of science and technology. Teach them to, and that will strengthen the Philippines. We will improve because of that, because of an empowered citizenry, becomes more educated, going into the science courses and engineering courses to be builders, right? Naturally, our democracy, our republic will survive and thrive because of an educated citizenry that demands more from its leaders. So they will improve the election process, the voting process. They will demand that COMELEC or replace COMELEC with something better. They will now build a national banking system kasi ayaw nila yung private banks. Kasi yung mga pribadong bangko, di naman para sa taong bayan yan para sa kanila yan And they will replace the central banking system with a national banking system, which benefits the Philippines, which benefits the Philippines and the Filipinos. Now you have a Philippines worth fighting for. But it all starts, nag-uumpisa yan sa policy sa energy. Because it starts with that. It starts with a national policy for energy, changing the whole policy of deregulation and privatization. Hindi nga nag-work, it never worked. Kailan ba bumaba yung presyo ng langis? When did we enact the oil deregulation? During Ramos' time? Bumaba since then? Di ba pataas ang pataas? Every year pataas. I remember nung panahon ni Erap, Presidente Erap, tumataas yung oil, sabi niya, wala akong magawa. Tali ang kamay ng gobyerno. Dahil sa batas na yan, oil deregulation, no. You cannot. But you can, because you can invoke the Constitution. Yun ang dapat ng mga liderato natin. Invoke the Constitution. Kung ako po ang nakaupo dyan, first day, invoke the Constitution. Article 12. Once we do that, we can chart our own destiny. We will not need to borrow money because we will turn our republic into a credit economy. We will give government will establish a national bank, and then we will give out credit to those industries. We will incentivize those people getting into those industries that we need to develop and grow. And we will give out our own interest rates, 1% long-term interest to industries. Let's say you want to build a petrochemical plant, go. Ito, 1%, we'll give you credit. Now you have a stronger economy because your intent is to build. Ang gusto mo mangyari, meron kang plano. Ang bansa hindi malakas. Bakit malakas ang China? Bakit sinasabi natin malakas? Because their intention 2 generations ago was to go this way. Ito yung policy natin. We will build. We will build. We will have a space program. We will build rail. We will... Bakit sira yung economy ng US? Because they stopped it. Tinigil nila yung ganyan. Ginawa nila cheap labor. Ginawa nila outsourcing. Ginawa nila call center. Hindi na sila nagpro-produce. Import na lang. Sinira nila ang kanilang economy. Tayo, we did the same thing after Marcos.
Ginaya.
Hindi naman perpekto yung sinasabi ko, perpekto yung lahat ng ginawa ni Marcos eh. But the intention was there. The intention, imagine a president coming out saying we will have 11 major industrial projects. Pag matalino kang reporter, tatanong mo, paano mo ipapower tong lahat? We will have a national railway system. How many kilometers long? Ganyan. Oh, magkano yung papatakbo niyan? May epira. We will increase production in our agriculture. We will produce 10 times more than we're producing now. How will you power that? Where will you get the water? How will you power the water? How will you desalinate? Para natin i-desalinate yung seawater. So lahat depends on the base load power. That's the most important thing. And right now, the most reliable, the most advanced, and getting more advanced as we go, is nuclear power. There is even another form of energy after nuclear energy. It is another kind of science, but it is fission. It is fusion, cold fusion. Okay? Believe me po, hindi to science fiction. They are experimenting and doing work on this today. Kasi yun that is so much more powerful than geometrically more powerful than nuclear power. So definitely guarantee the countries that have the funds and have the resources are experimenting on that today. Mauna sila. I guarantee you po, China is doing a lot of research and experimentation on that now. Kung hindi pa sila ganyan. That's the only way to power your space program. Wala nang iba. And then the medical isotopes that you get from nuclear energy. For X-rays, to power your X-rays, to show even the health of your people. Diba? Kalusugan ng bansa mo will benefit from nuclear. Lahat. All of that has a benefit. So that starts with that. And that one, that's why I consider po, personally, the greatest crime that Cory did to our country was to shut down the nuclear power, because that would have given Filipinos a future.
Yes.
That would have given them a capability to weather the storms. That would have given them and it would have prevented the private companies privatization from happening easily. Kasi hindi nila ma-presenta ng ganyan. Paano nila tataasan yung energy? Nandyan yung nuclear power plant. Hindi ba ho? So, but again, to the question of Johnny, hindi mag-work yan. Hindi rin mangyayari yung gusto natin kung privatize pa rin. Ang mangyayari dyan, magtatayo sila ng nuclear power plant pero bebenta sila sa malaking oligarko, edi tapos na, pareho pa rin. Kikita talaga ang oligarko dyan. Sobrang kita siya.
Tubong lugaw.
Tubong lugaw. Diba? Yun lang, Kat. Thank you.
Medyo nakakasakit lang ng dibdib, no? Dahil because of laws, dahil sa mga batas na ginawa ng ating mga mambabatas at ipinatupad. Ito ngayon yung bayan natin. Nagdurusa ang taong bayan sa mahal na halaga ng kuryente at talaga namang dahil sa mga batas na yan, katulad ng oil deregulation, IPIRA, at ang masakla pa parang na minsan naringgan ko na because of IPIRA ay parang hindi pinapayagan mismo ang gobyerno na gumawa ng paraan o pumasok into para bang mag-establish ng sarili niyang power plant para madagdagan yung base load natin. I don't know, may ganong binabanggit sa atin yung ating mga tagapakinig. But anyway, nandito si Chamberlain, Engineer Nagma, para ibahagi lang, baka may tanong ka rin kay Itos, Engineer. Isa siyang retirado mula sa National Power Corporation at marami rin siyang karanasan, Itos, being a mechanical engineer din. Engineer Nagma, magandang gabi. Yan, paki-unmute na lang.
Ayan, okay na?
Yes, loud and clear na. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Ang kailangan siguro natin dissemination information kasi yung design ng nuclear sa Korea, South Korea at sa atin, parehas na parehas. Sila nagtuloy. Ngayon, pang-anim na sila ngayon sa buong mundo na capacity ng installed nuclear, 62.5 gigawatt. Ay yung sa atin, nagsimula sila at nagsimula din tayo, 620 megawatt. Sa kanila ngayon ang naka-install is 62.5 megawatt. So, pagtitignan natin, tama sabi ni Sir kanina, pagtitignan natin yung pag-angat ng ekonomiya ng South Korea compared sa atin. At saka isa pa, kaya sa experience din namin, ewan ko, akala ko noon magtuloy-tuloy. Kasi nung puro brown out tayo noong 1980s, ang napokor noon, nagtayo ng isang grupo, yung Maintenance Engineering Center, na ang aim noon is magtayo ng sariling power plant ang napokor. So yung mga engineer namin noon, ipinadala na sa IGAT, Electric Generating Agency ng Thailand, para mag-aral doon. Kaya actually noong 1980s, nakakagawa na tayo ng superheater tube, reheater tubes, air heater, part ng boiler ng power plant. Hindi ko alam, biglang natigil. Tapos pinaghiwa-hiwalay na kami. Yan ang masaklap sa atin Pag yung umuunlad, tinatanggal. Kaya sa atin dapat magtulungan, dissemination information, kung anong epekto ng nuclear, saka other renewable energies. Yun lang.
Are you saying, Engineer Chamberlain, Engineer Nagma, na because of the word nuclear, kaya medyo natatakot ang sambayan ng Pilipino? O ito ay campaign ng mga tinatawag nating pseudo-environmentalist?
Tama ka dyan. Kasi parang mayroon silang, sa akin lang parang mayroon silang hidden plant Plan na hindi umunlad ng Pilipinas para kontrolin nila ang ekonomiya. Kasi sa atin puro simula Tapos yan, bandang uli, hindi ko Kaya ang kuhan natin yung talagang strong leader na itong gusto ko, ito na pag-aralan na, itatayo na. Di ba? Kasi nung panahon nga ni President Marcos doon, basta sa amin sa Napocor noon, meron yung geology, mga right of way. Pag nakita niyang kuhan, ayusin agad yan. Itayo yan. Di ba? Kaya dapat ganun din yung leader natin ngayon na ayusin yan, itayo yan.
Engineer Nagma, ilang taon ka bang naging kawani ng National Power Corporation?
Kulang-kulang na 40.
40 years. Kailan ka lang nag-retire?
1998. Kasi ang gusto ko talaga kasi noon, yung karanasan na makapagtayo ng power plant. Nung yung grupo namin na naging maliit na, wala nang capability na imbis na pa-improve yung equipment na binibili namin, ang minimintin namin nun, hindi na kami nagkuha ng mga malalaking power plant kasi bawal na kaming gumawa. So ngayon, ang ginawa ko, nag-resign ako noong 2008, pumasok ako sa isang Korean firm. So kami ang nagtayo ng fluidized bed, ganyan ang uso ngayon eh. Fluidized bed power plant, 100 dito sa Naga, Cebu. Sumunod sa Taganito, sa may Agusan. Tapos dito sa San Miguel, yung power plant dyan. Saka yung combined cycle dito sa Limay. Kami ang nag-repair niyan. Kasi ang nangyari doon sa combined cycle doon, ang ino-operate lang yung main turbine, pero yung combined cycle yung boiler side, hindi pino-operate noon. Kaya kung nagtuloy-tuloy yung yung plano sa amin noon, siguro ngayon nakakapagpatayo na tayo ng power plant eh. Marami na kami nagagawa nun. Kasi ang nasa likod namin noon, membro tayo ng ASME nung araw, American Society of Mechanical Engineering. Membro ang grupo namin doon. So meron kaming backup sa technical noon. Kaya kami, bigla na lang kaming eh. Kaya tama yung sinasabi ni Sir kanina, bakit ganun? Diba? Na ang ganda ng plano, tapos biglang nawala. Sa amin din, ang ganda ng plano na actually, may kontrata na kami noon na dapat magtatayo ng power plant sa yung Meknon sa China. Hindi natuloy. Tapos ngayon, ang masaklap, China na nagtatayo sa atin. Di ba?
Itos, mukhang sa mga sinasabi ni Engineer Nagma, para bang, ano bang tawag dito, pinababa o binagsak yung kakayahan ng ating ng ating bansa, ng mga, lalo na yung mga kawani, katulad niyang sa napukor yung karanasan ni Engineer Nagma. Parang talagang sinadya nila na sirain yung ating kakayahan, no? Kakayahan ng mga kawani na pamahalaan, ng mismong gobyerno natin. Kaya tayo ganito ngayon ang sitwasyon ng ating bansa. At ang nangyayari, ibinigay sa pribadong sektor, sa mga dayuhan, etong pangangasiwa ng ating kaya napakamahal, di ba, Itos?
Tama kayo. Tama ka doon, Ma'am Cathy. Kasi nga, nung nasa Japan ako, sabi ng mga Hapon, magagaling ang mga inhinyero ng Pilipino. Kaya lang, ang pinapaniwalaan nila mga attorney. Di ba? Tignan mo, ang mga inhinyerong Pilipino, hinangahan ng buong mundo eh, di ba? Kaya sabi nga nila, believe kasi sa mga Hapon nung nandun ako, noong mga 1998, believe kami sa mga inhinyerong Pilipino. Kaso, sa mga Pilipino, pinapaniwalaan, karamihan mga attorney. Kaya tignan mo, karamihan nung nasakan natin mga attorney.
Pero Engineer, meron ka bang nais pang itanong kay Itos para, alam mo yon kasi nakikita na alam niya kung ano yung nangyayari sa buong mundo, kung bakit ganito. Baka may nais kang itanong kay Itos.
Kay Sir Itos, agreeable ako lahat sa sinabi niya eh. Kasi yung binabanggit niya, nakuha natin kahapon yung sa presentation ni Engineer Losada. Kasi yung technology na yung ginagamit sa nuclear is fission, doon sa atomic bomb is fusion. Kaya wala akong makon sa kanya, agreeable ako sa kanya. Kaya lang, ang kailangan lang siguro natin, yung ma-brainwash yung mga tao. Kasi ang pan natin ngayon, paano natin sila i-brainwash na tama yung pag-operate natin sa nuclear. Kasi
brainwash talaga, Engineer.
Kasi lahat in place na eh. Yung mga sinasabi kanina ni Sir Itos na magmumurang kuryente, ladaming investor, tama yun eh. Kasi yung presentation natin nga kahapon, ang operation ang Ang findings ni na Engineer Losada at saka si na Engineer Limi Rojas, ang magiging cost ng kuryente natin pag tumakbo yung nuclear is 2.20, 2 pesos and 20 centavos. Ngayon magkano yun? Nasa 10, di ba?
Well, I think...
At 12, 12 ang layo, di ba? Di, kung yun ang ginamit natin ngayon, ang daming investor ang papasok. Kaya nga nang sabi ko, ang talagang number one problema natin ngayon, paano natin may mabribrinuwas ang mga tao ngayon na maniwala sa effectiveness at reliability pala ng nuclear power plant. Kasi nandyan na Tama si Sir Itos nandyan na Ang kwan lang ngayon paano natin mapakpan kasi nung araw, hindi mo napapansin nung araw, kunting problema lang sa Napocor noon, strike. Kunting problema ng Napocor, strike. Pero hindi naman kami nag-strike. May mga taong pumupunta sa opisina namin. Yung pala bayaran yun. Kasi, kaya, di ba? Uso yun. Kasi, nung sa amin noon, nung pinaglalaban namin yung dama namin, may kumausap sa leader namin Gusto nyo, sir, mag-strike tayo dito sa harapan ng MPC. Kaya pala yung babayad nyo sa amin. Di ganun din yun. Di ba? Kaya wala akong may tanong kay Sir Itos Ang na lang natin, paano yung brainwashing ng mga tao ngayon?
Paano ipapaliwanag sa mga kababayan natin na pag sinabi mong nuclear power plant o nuclear energy ay hindi masama. Siguro ibigyan natin ng pagkakataon, Engineer Nagma, si Itos, no? Para ipaliwanag sa atin. Kasi matindi talaga ang kampanya ng mga pseudo-environmentalists at mga talagang, sabihin na natin, pati ang ginawa mismo ng mga nakarang administrasyon, lalo na nung panahon ni Ramos at ng mga Aquino, dito sa pagdating sa energy natin, no? Itos?
Maya, unang-una, salamat Engineer Nagma. Tama ka. Agree na. More power to you. Mabuhay ka. Because sana dumami pang katulad ninyo because kailangan po natin yan. Kailangan ng bansa na ganyan ng pag-iisip for development. And to your question about quote unquote brainwashing, na brainwash na po tayo sa kabila, di ba? So actually, it's not the term. I know hindi yun yung ibig mo sabihin, but how do we re-educate our people to look at nuclear power in a different light and because para tayo nga correct lahat yung kasi lumalabas po na hindi tayo sadya po ang pagbagsak ng Pilipinas, sinadya nila. Okay, binigay sa mga pribadong interest. Pagpasok ni Corazon Aquino, yan ang nag-umpisa na. So lahat ng nangyayari dito sa Pilipinas, it is a progressive destruction of our republic. Binibigay at binibigay. Tingnan mo tong, and up to now, it's another yung palagay ko dyan sa Maharlika Bill, designed rin yan to keep us in debt.
Ganon?
Yes, because saan magkukuha ng pera pang-invest ang Maharlika Bill, ang Maharlika Fund?
Yes, SSS.
Yun. They'll take away more funds from our budget. Tapos, saan pupunta yan? Invest nila sa kanilang mga pribadong kumpanya. Diba? Wall Street, London, Forex, they will keep yung global oligarchy will keep the money flowing to them. That's what it is. And it is designed like that. All sovereign wealth funds are like that. To keep the money, to get public monies to go to private hands. It is just it is the latest scheme of stealing from individuals, from sovereign citizens. And I say this because it is happening all over the world. Not just with our leader pushing the Maharlika Fund, but they need to push this. Bakit nagiging urgent, 'di ba? In this point of the world economy where yung may BRICS na nga na nangyari sa kabila. You have China, Saudi Arabia, you have Russia, India, and 90 plus other countries are de-dollarizing already. Tumaalis na sila sa US dollar. Bakit urgent ngayon ang Maharlika Fund? Sobrang gulo. The investment climate, magulo yung mundo. Ba't mo pinipilit gumawa ng skemang ganito? 'Di ba? Because utos yan. They need him to create it like other countries para lalong I don't know how to say what is squeeze, what is squeeze in Tagalog, Cathy? Yung
Pigain.
yes, lalo nilang pinipiga ang yaman ng mga sa atin through the Maharlika Fund, ang yaman ng mga Pilipino, pigang-piga na sila. They need to squeeze more because they need to fund their dying system. Kasi sigurado ako, ang Maharlika Fund na yan, hindi papayagan mag-invest sa BRICS. Di ba? Sigurado ako, di ba, Johnny? Right? So hindi nila papayagan yan mag-invest sa BRICS. Papayagan lang nila, mag-invest ka dito sa Wall Street, namamatay na kami, bigyan mo kami ng pera. Kunin mo yung pera ng taong bayan mo, bigay mo sa amin. That is the Maharlika Fund. That's why termed as urgent. Kasi pinipilit na si Presidente Bongbong to put it in action already because we need money. Kasi namamatay na kami. Yung dollar system is dead. It is dead. Kaya nga sabi ko, ang kikita lang dyan, yung mga middlemen, yung mga investor, kikita sila ng konti, pero there's no future. Walang future po dyan. Walang kinabukasan. Kaya nga tayo nagdi-discuss ng ganito. You have to imagine a future where the Filipino citizens, for our sake, is thriving, is buhay, and then innovating and aspiring to great projects. Tayo ng ganyan dito, tayo ng ganyan dito, tayo ng malaking terminal sa barko. Mag-shipbuilding tayo. At kita mo yung Baseco dati, di ba? Shipbuilding yun eh. That area sa Manila. Ngayon, ano na siya? Di ba? We have the facilities. Even if it was through the Americans, and we had the facilities. We could have done something. Subic is a potential shipbuilding hub. We're a maritime culture. We're archipelago. Dapat yun na yun. But benefit sa Pilipino. Di ba ho? Di ba dapat sa Pilipino ang benepisyo niya? Ang Freeport, ang tinatawag na Freeport, walang benefit sa Philippines. Because come and go yan. They'll just come, build there, tapos ilalabas ulit nila. Kaya nga yung mga, basta lahat ng Freeport, gano'n. Tapos lahat ng, what do you call that? Yung mga export processing zones.
Oo, mga PEZA.
Gano'n yun yan.
Yan sa
You're trying to attract them with better rates and lower taxes.
Zero pa nga.
So you relocate to PEZA zones, parang benepisyo ng, di ba? That's how it is. And those things are designed, not here. They're designed by these financial experts in the World Bank, in the IMF, and told you can do this for your country. Pero unti-unti, inilalabas yung yaman, yung pera. Kaya umihirap yung buhay natin eh. 'Di ba? Progressively humihirap, naghihirap, bumababa yung antas ng ating kabuhayan, 'di ba?
Labang konsensya yung presidente natin. Bakit? I'm sure alam niya itong ginagawa niya. Pero
No,
di,
I don't think he knows to what extent. Kasi he knows up to a certain point. Pero yung diniscuss natin po dito, yung nuclear power plant and how it will benefit, and the Maharlika Fund, paano yung ginagawa niya. Sinasabihan lang siya, gawin mo to. Kailangan na gawin yan. Urgent yan. So we will lend you money but you make a Maharlika Fund. Para yung Senate Bill 1869. Gawin nyo na yan para magbe-benefit kayo. Yan ang ano nila eh. Pero do the leaders know what the real intention is? Hindi ko po alam. I doubt it. Because you need to read more outside the mainstream. You need to read LaRouche. You need to read all of these other authors that are considered extremists so that you learn. Hindi ko alam kung ganyan si Presidente Bongbong. I don't know if he has the capacity to, or he has demonstrated. Kasi lahat ng speeches niya, maganda yung wording niya, magaling speechwriter, magaling siya mag-speech, magbigay ng talumpati. Pero wala akong nakikitang ganyan na parang may vision siya na industrialized and yung bansa and what we need to industrialize. We need to be self-sufficient in agriculture. Paano mo gagawin? Anong capability natin to produce more rice? We need water. And we need desalination plants. How will you power those desalination plants? You need a design for agro-industrial development. You need a blueprint. Wala eh. Pasulpot-sulpot lang. Tapos pasok ng bagong presidente. Ito, ako naman, anong posisyon ko? Ito, crime. Ang gagawin ko, ako bahala sa safety and security. Tanggalin ko yung droga. Pero yan lang gagawin ko. Hindi, I won't create jobs. I will deal with gagamutin ko yung sugat. Hindi yung ugat ng sugat. Tama ba yun, Kat? Ugat ng sugat. Origin, di ba?
Sanhi ng sugat.
Sanhi ng sugat. So hindi mo tinatanggal yung cancer cell. Ginagamot mo lang yung sugat mo dahil sa cancer sa labas, sa kamay mo, whatever. Yon. Yung sanhi, yung cause, the real cause of the problem. Malaki yung problema, pero actually nakikita ko madali yung solusyon.
Kung gagawin. Kung interesado ang mga leader natin, lalo na ang Pangulo natin.
Yes, and before they change the constitution, baka palitan nila constitution, tanggalin nila yan.
Yun lang.
'Di ba? So less power, less. Tingnan mo yung mga constitution natin. 87 constitution we're basing it on. It's a very weak constitution compared to the previous one. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
That's by design. That's not by accident. You have less power as a citizen now than you had previous generation. Just because maraming batas, hindi ibig sabihin mas empowered ang mamamayan. Hindi ba ho? But it is siguro dahil sa tatay ko, 'di ba? Si Chairman Butch. The solution is there. The solution is there. It's staring us at the face. Look at this coming medical martial law bill. Authored yan, not by us, authored by the WHO yan. And when you say WHO, authored by Big Pharma yan. Yan, ito ibigay mo dyan. Ito, ipa-implement mo dyan sa Pilipinas yan.
Ginagawa nila tayo.
Di ba? Kailangan patayin tayo ng mabagal through the policies because kung mabilisan yung patay, hindi nila mapipiga. Hindi nila tayo mapipiga. Kailangan buhayin natin ng ganyan pero pigain natin buong taon. Every single year that you're alive, pipigain natin yan. Di ba? That's what it is. To fight that, kaya nga sabi nga ni engineer kanina, parang hindi niya maintindihan ba't biglang titigil. Sa umpisa, okay, gagawin, tapos biglang titigil. Hindi ba? And purpose yan. Yun ang design nila. Hindi lang sa atin dito sa Pilipinas, but sa ibang bansa that want to develop and aspire for the people. Hindi nila nagawa sa China kasi sabihin na natin, komunista yung China. Hindi nila mapasukan ng democracy ko, no? Di gumawa lang yung China. Kaya, ang ginawa nila, dinemonyo nila yung China. China and Russia, masamang tao yung mga yan. Huwag kayo sumama dyan. Si Putin, demonyo. Si Xi Jinping, demonyo. Yan ang gagawin nila. E tayong mga Pilipino na napakatalino, yan ang pinapakinggan natin. Hindi ho ba? So, yun lang, Kat.
Okay, alam mo sa totoo lang, gusto kong umiyak. Gusto kong umiyak dahil sa nangyayari sa bansa natin. But, bigyan natin ng pagkakataon si Johnny Ventosa, no? Para magtanong. Sir Johnny, magandang gabi. Go ahead.
Thank you. Ethos. I really believe that it's the United States that really did not want us to open that nuclear plant. And we have been brainwashed, like the engineer is saying, to believe in everything that's negative about the nuclear plant. And really, I mean, right now, we're actually holding hands with these people. And here you are, you're speaking of how this country could progress, but how could it? When to me, this whole administration is, I don't know, hooked on to the US. No. So I really don't know. I have another question. You were speaking of the dollarization, and it's going to happen. And I think that the elite, the top elite, the Rothschilds and all that, they know that it was going to happen. So I believe they have started this, how do you call it, the WEF reset to counter the fact that the dollar will not be ever usable. Could you just explain that to us one of these Sundays? Because I think there's something very fishy about the WEF monetary reset system. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny, for the question. Yun na nga, yung ang gusto mangyari, WEF, World Economic Forum, is just it started off like it is an organization, it is a businessman's forum in 1970. But as it grew and attracted all of these, sabihin na natin, bigger businessmen and government officials, it grew and grew with funding and all. And yung head niyan, si Klaus Schwab. Ito si Klaus Schwab has a vision for the world that is fascist. Okay? Sabi niya, kailangan mag-rule sa mundo ay yung mga elite, mga elitista. Sila yon. At lahat magi-exist sa mundo para silbihan sila. Now, this is a very fascist, this is colonial thinking, this is empire. This is a design of empire. Now, recently, you're right, alam nila na pabagsak na yung sistema nila. They've known, matagal na nilang alam yan. So, ang ginagawa nila, paano nila agapan to, paano nila ipapalitan to? World Economic Forum will push for a global reset. In other words, sasabihin muna nila ganito. Paano nila gagawin to? Ang gusto nila, one world government. Okay? Ang gusto nila, sila may-ari ng lahat. Sila yung namumuno sa buong mundo. Okay? Wala nang soberenya. Okay? Paano nila gagawin to? Una, sasabihin nila, sira yung buong ekonomiya ng mundo. Sira lahat. Ang katotohanan yan, yung sistema lang nila yung sira. Pero sasabihin nila sa buong mundo, sira. Maraming mga bansa hindi makabayad ng utang. So, dahil mabait kami sa mundo, mabait kaming tao, reset na lang tayo. Huwag nyo na bayaran yung utang nyo. Pero, kailangan magpalit tayo sa isang one world currency. Wala na yung peso. Mag-iisip kami ng anong pangalan ng currency. Lahat yan ang ano. Tapos gagawin natin digital. Pag ginawan digital, hindi ka maka-transact, hindi ka makalipad, hindi ka makagalaw kung hindi nila sabihin sa'yo. Kasi yung bangko mo nasa telepono mo na o nasa digital. Wala nang pera na ipiprint. Kailangan kasi yan kasi sirang-sira na yung mundo. Yan ang sinasabi ng the World Economic Forum. Now, to reach that, because they're yung power nila and their reach and then their network, no, is the Western bankers. They will now tell Biden, maggera ka, gerahin mo China at Russia dahil sila may BRICS. At sila hindi na nakikinig sa atin. Gerahin mo. O paano natin umpisahan? Paano natin gagarahin? Gamitin mo yung Pilipinas. Sasabihin lang kay Biden, gamitin mo yung mga Pilipino. Hindi naman nag-iisip yung mga yan eh. Nagpapagamit lang naman yung mga Pilipino eh. Diba? So gamitin mo pang-udyok sa China, panggulo sa China, tapos sasabihin natin, EDCA. Oh, mutual defense agreement tayo. Mahal namin kayo mga Pilipino, kaya dinepensahan kayo namin. Asama ng China, oh. Pero ang totoong gusto nila is they don't want the BRICS and other countries to follow the BRICS. Because their dollar system is dead. They don't produce anything anymore. And when China said, okay, I'll buy oil from Saudi Arabia or Russia, but I don't have to convert to dollars. I will have full convertibility of my yuan to your ruble. Patay na yung petrodollar system. Patay na. Meaning, US stopped producing their own oil, so wala silang mabentahan. Russia is the one producing. Saudi Arabia, China needs the oil. They'll buy from Saudi Arabia and Russia. They'll fine. Sila, okay sila. Kaya ginagera sila. Tayo ang ginagamit. We are the willing stooge. The Filipinos are the willing stooges. Stooge, parang, ano ba yung stooge sa Tagalog, Cathy? Parang ano, para tayong alalay or para tayong utusan. Mga minion. Ano ba minion sa Tagalog? Basta, tayo yung utusan, tayo yung attack dog, kayo na. Guluhin niyo yung China, magreklamo kayo, kami yung nasa likod mo. Yan ang mangyayari dyan. So, uh, but again, there is a solution. If our president
Mga kampo.
does Article 12, he does it, right? Any president could be the next president, right? If they do Article 12, baliwala lahat ng ginagawa ng WEF, baliwala lahat ng ginagawa ng WHO with the Senate bill, because that will be trash. That will gagawing basura yan ng konstitusyon natin. Pwede natin gawin yan. But we have to be prepared to fight as a country, as a nation, as a republic for our lives. Because iipitin nila tayo like they always do. So that's how I see it, John. I hope I answered some of the question.
Okay. Bigyan natin ng pagkakataon si Giancarlo Iway. But bago ka tuloy ang magtanong, it's already 8:36 na po ng gabi, Philippine Standard Time. At kayo po ay kasalukuyang nakikinig sa impilan pa rin ng RMN DZXL 558 kHz AM band at sabayan niyo po kaming napapanood sa pamamagitan po ng social media accounts ng Katipunan Channel o Partido KDP, sa pamamagitan ng FB page at YouTube account. At syempre, yan na, nasa na si Carlo Iway. Carlo, nasan ka na? Ayun. Okay, go ahead, Carlo.
Ay, hello po, good evening po. Tanong ko lang kaitos, no? Bakit walang nabantay sa atin dito na mga ordinaryong Pilipino sa mga dapat na pag-aari natin? And is this part ba, itong mga pangyayari na ito ng depopulation agenda ng mga kabal dito sa buong mundo, itong pandikipit sa atin sa bakuna at sa pag-aari din natin, yung po muna.
Thank you, Carlo. Carlitos?
Yeah, to answer your question, Carlo, yes. As simple as I can put it, yes. It is a design. But when you say, yung mga terms na ginagamit natin minsan, deep state or cabal, or you have to look at it kasi many layers po yan. Many funded organizations. Tulad ng USAID, yung mga charity organizations dito, to fulfill an agenda or to fulfill a goal, they will use these agencies. Layered yan. Hindi mo masasabi na kabal. Mabait naman sila, charity naman sila, pero marami silang pera na nakukuha. Okay? To fund these kinds of programs or to lobby. Ilalabi nila mga senador natin, ilalabi nila ang presidente natin, ilalabi nila dyan yung mga congressman natin. Hindi man lang alam ng congressista o senator na ito ba yung kabal, unless he talagang nagbabasa siya o nagpapanood niya or he's aware of these alternative channels and what's happening around the world. I guarantee you, a lot of them are just confused what's really happening. Kasi believe na believe sila sa mainstream media. Kasi mainstream sila eh. Kasi yun ang usapan nila dyan sa Kongreso. Mainstream tayo eh. So lahat ng pinapag-usapan, pupunta sila, bumibisita sila as a group to this World Economic Forum. Proud na proud sila, pumunta sa Davos, Switzerland. So yung educated class natin, yung sinasabi nilang educated class na nakakapunta sa mga expensive private schools, they all think the same way. They all bought into this willingly or unwillingly. Pero sumama na rin sila dyan. Sila na magte-take over niyan eh. Sila yung magiging royalty dito sa Pilipinas eh. Lalo na yung mga anak ng mga oligarko, mga anak ng bilyonaryo. Pinapaaral yan sa mga school sa abroad eh. Yung mga Harvard, yung mga ganon. Tapos pagbalik dito, sila na yan. Sila nang susunod. And that's how the global oligarchy, the global elite, keep their hold on countries. You don't know it. You think you're just doing it. But the power and money that's being used, that's how it is. And it's hindi yan ngayon lang nangyayari. It's happened throughout history. Yung kasaysayan ng mankind is a fight against this. This is just the modern incarnation of an empire. And this is the fight modern citizens have to make to save their sovereign republic. Yun lang.
Okay, at sino ang susunod na si Engineer Lemmy, no? Anyway, sige, it's already 8:40 na po ng gabi, Philippine Standard Time. Siyempre, kayo po ay kasama po kami ng dalawa ni Itos Valdes at mga kasama natin sa Zoom na ngayon ay tumatalakay tungkol sa Bataan Nuclear Power Plant at kung ano-ano pa ang nangyari sa ating bansa kung bakit patuloy na bumabagsak ang kalidad ng ating buhay at patuloy tayong nahihirapan. By the way, it's time to read the text messages sent by our listeners. Their opinion does not necessarily reflect our own, but we reserve the right to read them to the public in the interest of freedom of speech. So, unang mensahe o comment ng ating mga kababayan mula kay Aldefonsa A. The President during the campaign has said many times the importance of nationalization and said that the Koreans were ready to help regarding BNPP. Is he doing anything about it? Yan ay mula kay Aldefonsa A. And, yan. Itos, gusto mo bang sagutin to? Sabi ni
Hindi ko masasagot. Is he doing anything about it? I'm sorry, I don't have an answer. Hindi kita masasagot dyan kasi hindi ko rin alam.
Mukhang wala eh. at sabi naman ni Summer Sense, I'm glad to catch your live stream on time. Is there a way to stop the Maharlika Fund? It seems that BBM is really pushing for it. Itos. Meron bang paraan para mapigil itong Maharlika Fund na to?
I think you can do a temporary restraining order or file a case in the Supreme Court but there's a process there, and if the Congress and Senate want to ratify it and they want to do it and Bongbong Marcos President Bongbong wants to sign it, habol lang tayo. Di ba? In the courts. Unconstitutional and all of that. May kaso yan, for sure. Pero alam mo naman yung Supreme Court rin natin, di ba? Yung Supreme Court natin, constitutional yung EDCA eh. Di ba? Oh. So this is what you're dealing with. You can, but it seems to be they're all on the same boat. They're all in cahoots to get this thing moving. So.
At mula naman kay Cesar Soberano, good evening KDP, mabuhay ang laban ng Katipunan. Suportahan ang karavan ng Sagip Pilipinas sa June 1 papuntang Malolos, Nueva Ecija, Isabela at Cagayan Valley laban sa EDCA. At sabi naman ni Agustin Makalintal, sana po pwedeng makapag-invest ang pangkaraniwang mamamayan sa BRICS. At sabi naman ni Femi Mac, Alu, good day watching from Germany. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Femi. At sabi ni Madir Chill, great program. Naka-thumbs up siya.
Kat?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. I wanted to react yung nagsabi investing in BRICS. Hindi po yan hindi po yan investment vehicle yung BRICS ha. Yung BRICS ay isang samahan. Okay, they're a new organization. BRICS stands for the names of those countries kasi. So so hindi siya investment. But we must tell our government to join that grouping because all the resources that we need to survive as a country, they have. And we can deal with them. Okay, so they are putting their own bank. They had the Asian Infrastructure Bank, AIIB, that they're going to put there. That's really dedicated to infrastructure. And we should be able to borrow from them because imagine a bank that just says Basta infrastructure lang ang loan out namin, wala nang iba. Kung gusto mong magpatayo ng casino, wag kayo sa amin pumunta. 'Di ba? Imagine, that's how it should be. That is like a national bank. This one is a World Bank that is dedicated to infrastructure loans only. Sobrang game changer yan. Sobrang iba yan since the Bretton Woods. Okay, kailangan maintindihan ng mga liderato natin yan. Yan ang solusyon natin. Doon tayo mabubuhay. Doon natin pwede natin makita ang kinabukasang maganda for the Philippines. Through that, imagine a bank dedicated to infrastructure lang. Iba yon. Kasi yung mga bankero dito, kahit anong loan bibigay sa'yo, basta kumita silang interest. Pero ito, infrastructure, ibig sabihin, ikabubuti ng bansa. Because infrastructure, you borrow because you want to create a rail network. For example, kailangan magtayo tayo ng isang, or a nuclear power plant. You borrow because that's infrastructure, energy infrastructure. So you're borrowing to create an economy because now you need jobs, you need workers, you need engineers, you need construction workers, you need all of those things. So bibigyan mo pang trabaho lahat ng tao. Hindi ba? And infrastructure yon. Forever yon, meaning for the next generation yon. And generations hence. Imagine, isang bangko led by the manufacturing giant China, energy giant Russia, oil Saudi Arabia, and also manufacturing and pharmaceuticals India. And saan ka pa pupunta, di ba? Itong mga kapitbahay na nga natin itong mga to eh. Di ba? So, dun tayo. But it's not an investment vehicle na parang invest tayo sa BRICS. Hindi po gano'n. Yan lang.
At saka, di ba, Itos, ang BRICS ay long-term at low interest rates, di ba? Yan ang BRICS.
No, that's not BRICS. That is the bank.
At the AIIB pala, I should say.
Yes, the AIIB. Yan ang, and yung irony dyan, Cathy. Yung ganyan isip, that's Alexander Hamilton ng US. Long-term loans, low interest rate. Kasi ang logic niyan is you will nurture the industry, you will make it develop.
Okay.
So you will give it a chance to grow because that's what you want for your economy. So they will give out those loans. Saan ka pa pupunta? Di ba?
AIIB na. Thank you, Itos. At syempre, sabi ni Carlo EY, pakigreet ng good evening si Miss Katrina Zayas Akailar at ang gising Maharlika. Sabi naman ni Justin R. Enriquez, always watching from Honolulu. Nako, thank you, Justin. Sabi naman ni Christopher Cruz, salamat sa pagtalakay niyo uli sa Bataan Nuclear Power Plant at sa di magandang situation ng energy dito sa Pinas. Nakita kong post mo, Chris, kanina. You're also listening sa radyo. At sabi ni Rogelio Balita, pira, lugi tayo dyan. Hanggang nariyan ng mga oligarkiya, wala nang pag-unlad ang national government. Privatize pa more. At sabi ni Bienvenido, mabuhay, heroes don't die, heroes multiply. At naka-check-in naman si Freddy Oridina. Sabi pa rin ni Justin Enriquez, true, everything you saying about nuclear power, Sir Itos, sana ma-enhance Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. See what happened to Malampaya given 15 years to Razon. PBBM is more on oligarch side. All his promises after election turned into ashes. Sad. Sabi naman ni Argelias Joselito, kasi para kung iisipin yung mga pinuno nakalagay sa pwesto, bata ng oligarko, motto, pabulsa muna bago ang bayan. Yan ang motto. At sabi ni Kiara Dizon, masarap makinig kay Sir Itos, ang daming natututunan. Hindi naman matalino si BBM, puro plano pero hindi alam kung paano gagawin yung plano. Sabi ni Ildefonso A, no matter how good he is in delivering speeches, those are empty words without action. We don't need an orator for a president. Sabi rin ni Bird D. Guzman, ang BRICS po ba ay sumusunod sa WEF? Itos? Ang BRICS daw ba ay sumusunod sa WEF?
Obviously, hindi. But they have to, alam mo, Russia and China are so much part of the world that they have to sometimes play. Naglalaro sila o nagrepresenta sila kasi ayaw naman nila ng gera. Kung sila, pag-usapan natin, ito gagawin natin. Develop tayo, magkasama tayong development. Yan naman gusto ng mga citizens natin eh. Yan po yun. The purpose, what you look at is the purpose of what they're doing. Ano bang nais nila? And then you look at the purpose of yung kabila. And makikita mo, there's a glaring disparity kasi. Ibang-iba yung gusto nila, iba yung ano. No. Now, when Bretton Woods was established in 1945, yung intention nila, maganda sa mundo. The World Bank, ang original name niyan, the Bank of Reconstruction and Development. Yan ang original name ng World Bank as conceived by the Bretton Woods Conference. Because alam nila, sirang-sira yung mundo, they will need funding, countries will need funding to draw from to rebuild. Hindi pang speculation. Now, when they changed they took out Bretton Woods, ang ginawa nilang floating exchange rate, naging World Bank. And then it became a private bank of central bank. Parang ganon. So nag-iba yung karakter. Ngayon, yung BRICS, bumabalik dun sa original na Bretton Woods, it seems. Now, will it be perfect? Will it be forever na magaling yung intention ng BRICS? Hindi po natin alam. But at this point, with the leadership of Xi Jinping and Putin, the strong leadership, we are assured, at least while they're in power, that the BRICS will have that intention. Yun lang po.
Sige, bigyan ko ng pagkakataon si Johnny Ventosa. Johnny Ventosa, habol ka ng tanong bago ko basahin yung iba pang mga text.
Itos, is it logical or safe to say that WEF world system or whatever you call it cannot survive as long as the BRICS is there, is existing and proving itself functional?
Okay. Yes and no. But because the BRICS is a para siyang lifeboats ng countries na yon, because everybody was with the WEF and the banking system. China and Russia kasama dyan. China and Russia, G7 yan. Okay, so they're all part of it. Pero nakita nila na it is a sinking ship. It is dying. Yung dollar system, and it is not beneficial to other countries. So they started to form their own. In fact, they invited the US to be part of it. But the US, the elite oligarchy of the US and the UK, which is headquartered in London, are the principal authors of this current speculative system. Okay, not the US citizens, not the England citizens of England, but the leadership, the oligarchy running it. Okay, yung bankers. Okay, they're the ones who authored this whole system. And they're the ones who are pushing the WEF to impose a fascist world government. by convincing all world leaders who are willing to be subjects to stay in their system. Now, that system is dead whether BRICS existed or not. But the fact that there is an alternative and these countries are fighting back, I think we should join the fight for the future and not remain in the dark ages.
Correct.
Yun lang po.
Thank you, Itos. Sabi naman ni Frederico Mana, marami tayong young politician na nag-aral sa WEF. Carl Schwab, Pia Cayetano, Lauren Ligarda, Chis Escudero, sa media, Karen Davila, nakaposisyon na sila sa mga sangay ng atong gobyerno at inamin niya ni Uncle Klaus Schwab. Yan ang sabi ni Federico Mana. At sabi ni Mother Chill, because Marcos' superficial achievement is the MIF. Thus, he insists on its approval. Kaya yan lang yata i-report niya sa SONA eh. It's ironic why can't Marcos and his economic team kuno can't seem to have faith on local investment, especially the agri and energy industries. Something concrete and not the external foreign stocks, which are questionable. Sabi naman ni Wilhelmina Salazar, tragic that most of our people are not aware of what's really happening. At sabi ni Rupert Makasales siguro to, 1987 Constitution is for political interest of you people. Any comment, Itos? 1987 Constitution.
Is for ano ulit? Sorry.
1987 Constitution is for political interest of few people.
Yes, yan ang lumalabas dyan. Because it diluted the previous constitution. Diluted, ibig sabihin pinahina. Tapos pinadagdag nila yung mga certain words and phrases na hindi naman kailangan idagdag. Parang dinagdag lang nila para, you know, it's like sinasabi natin, woke. Alam mo yung woke? Yung parang pa social justice warriors na parang nagdagdag lang sila ng ano para ma-include sila sa Constitution. Hindi naman kailangan. It did not strengthen our republic. It weakened it, the 87th Constitution.
Okay, at mula naman sa text message, no, mula kay 5640501, kahit saan mahal ang bilihin, hindi lang sa atin, kahit paano may ginagawa ang ating presidente. Ang gawin ay magtrabaho, huwag umasa sa gobyerno. Ang karamihan kasi sa Pinoy, tamad. Wala nang respeto sa kapwa, walang disiplina. Buti pa nga Japan. Yan ang text sa akin. Any comment? Itos. Kasi raw ang mga tao tamad. Di raw nagtatrabaho.
Hindi, you know, again, that's why I consider it the greatest crime. When you have a technology that can transform the lives and generations of your people, and you do it out of, and you stop it, you deprive your people of a future. That is a crime. You've sentenced them to death. And the reason we've had this new generation of iba yung culture, iba yung, because I firmly believe hindi tayo nabigyan ng opportunity to develop when we didn't start the nuclear power plant. Because we would have had 3-4 more. Sabi nga ni engineer kanina, yung sa Korea, it was named Kori 1. Kori 1. Same plant sa atin, Westinghouse rin, same exact sa atin. Sila, according to Marco Juanco, Congressman Marco Juanco, who is a nuclear power advocate, binisita niya doon. They have 4 or 5 more modern nuclear power plants that they built beside it, working. And may agriculture estate, may orange grove and apples around the nuclear plant na pwede mong kainin na napaka-healthy. Hindi ka nagiging monster. Hindi ka nagiging halimaw. Yan ang panakot nila sa tao eh. Yun, sige. 1 minute ka lang.
1 minute na lang po at marami pong salamat sa lahat po ng mga sumusubaybay at tumatangkilik, mga kasama namin sa Zoom, of course, at syempre sa lahat po ng ating mga kababayan na nakikinig sa pamamagitan po ng ating pong radyo. At syempre dito sa mga social media accounts. Sa ngalan po ng ating mga katipon dito sa ating Katipunan at sa magagaling na staff ng DZXL Radyo Mo nationwide. Kami po ay pansamantalang nagpapaalam at nagpapasalamat sa inyo na horo di peligro ng ating bayan at ng buong mundo dito sa ating Katipunan. Hanggang sa linggo pong muli mga katipon, alas 7 hanggang alas 9 po ng gabi. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Hi everyone. Thank you, Engineer Nagma, Giday Lemmy, Yarmi, Gatosa, Carlo.
Inyong na Itos Valdes kasama si Cathy Cruz at iba pang katipon na nakilahok sa talakayan.
Ating Katipunan.
Samahang muli si Itos Valdes sa susunod na linggo alas 7 hanggang alas 9 ng gabi sa himpilan ng RMN DZXL 558 kHz AM band at social media accounts ng Partido KDP.
Ating Katipunan.